Israeli forces have opened fire towards a diplomatic delegation in Jenin in the occupied West Bank. The group included diplomats from the European Union who were visiting to observe conditions in the city's refugee camp. The Wafa news agency says at least 5 bullets were fired towards the delegation. Italy's foreign minister has summoned Israel as an ambassador to the country in response. We're going to go to Handa Sahut. She's joining us from the Jordanian capital, Amman. She's there because the Israeli government has banned Al Jazeera from reporting inside Israel and the occupied West Bank. Just give us a little idea of what has been happening in Jenin, what the EU delegation was tasked with when they were over there.
Well, it was dozens of representatives from many different countries, including EU countries, the UK, Sri Lanka, many Arab countries, including Jordan. And essentially what they were there to do was kind of get a scope of the scale of destruction that's been caused by the Israeli military since their siege on Jenin began more than 4 months ago. So this delegation was walking through when Israeli forces fired shots. Now, the military says that these were shots that were fired in the air as warning shots, saying that while this was a coordinated visit, they did give the delegation a specific route to go on, and they're accusing the dozens of members who came to see Jenin of deviating from this route. However, the army is now saying, quote, that they regret any sort of inconvenience this caused, and now that the coordinator for government activities in the Palestinian territories, this is a person responsible in the Israeli military, is coordinating with different countries, different diplomats and representatives to kind of explain that this was a misunderstanding, but it just kind of goes to show you the reality on the ground of how you can be anybody walking through parts of the occupied West Bank and come under Israeli fire. These places in the Palestinian territory have been under complete siege. You have tens of thousands of Palestinians who've been forcibly uprooted and displaced from their homes as part of the ongoing military raids in Jenin, in Tulkarem, in their surrounding areas in the northern parts of the occupied West Bank. So the military says that this was an unfortunate event and is apologizing for it, and these diplomats were forced to take cover when the army was firing.
One would imagine that Israel is beginning to feel some sort of diplomatic pressure as well. Italy's foreign minister summoning Israel's ambassador to the country in response to this happening. Of course, it was only 24 hours ago that the UK was summoning Israel's ambassador to the United Kingdom over the actions in Gaza.
Look, there's been a lot of international pressure on the Israelis, on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government. For one, they're expanding military operations in the Gaza Strip, but two, because of their blockade of humanitarian assistance inside of the Gaza Strip, saying that even though Netanyahu had announced they're going to be allowing this very basic and minimal quantity of food to go in, that it is completely inadequate, that it does not suffice, that the people in the Gaza Strip need much more than that, given the Israeli army's operations there, given that they've been under siege for more than a year and a half. So there's been so much pressure, and the largest of those pressures was a statement by the UK, Canada, and France saying that they're willing to impose measures against Israel, including sanctions, if the situation continues as is.
Handa, thank you very much indeed. That's Handa Sahut bringing us up to date with developments from Amman. Thank you. Italy's foreign minister has summoned Israel's ambassador to the country in response.
I heard about the incident in Jenin today where Israel Defense Forces shot warning shots, but still shots at a group of diplomats approaching the refugee camp within the visit organized by the Palestinian Authority. We definitely call on Israel to investigate this incident and also hold these accountable who are responsible for this, and any threats on diplomats' lives are unacceptable. As Israel is also a signatory to Vienna Convention, has the right, the obligation to guarantee the security of all foreign diplomats. So I think this is important.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.